guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video I'm reviewing the Tommorow People Season 1, Episode 8, Thantos. This was definitely a very interesting episode. It was better than the last one by far. We got a lot more information about something really big, especially that big ending, which I cannot wait for. As far as the episode went, the episode wasn't, my favorite of the season. It was a really good episode. It was a good episode, but some of it was a little bit boring until that very big ending, which I think is probably going to, change a lot for this show. Because from the end of this episode, something very big is going to happen next week, I'm sure. So, one of the things I loved is that we did touch back on one of the flashbacks, and it was John's. Because it opened in the past where we see that John is about to become a killing machine. Jedikiah seems really worried about him. John teases that he's special, so he'll be fine. Jedikiah still seems concerned, but it's all a dream. But it's Jedikiah who wakes up. He's with Morgan, she soothes him, and she soothes him, not soothes him, she soothes him, and they talk about how they met. Turns out she was pretending to be a psychic. She took his hand and knew everything about him, but she didn't think he was a monster, and it's kind of sweet, and it's incredibly weird, though, too, since this is Jedikiah. So Jedikiah, recognizes Tim's voice and is surprised enough to look at John, who confirms that he stole the computer from, well, this all kind of, connects together, because, in the lair, Steven is trying to convince John, Kara, and Russell that he really did see his dad when he nearly drowned, and that he talked about Thantos. Now, I told you guys in the last episode that he thought when he was communicating through the water that he saw his dad, which I did not really understand. But he's tried to find what he can in the fleas at Ultra, but he hasn't been able to get anywhere. And Kara decides that he needs to scan Jedikiah's head to find out what he knows. And unsurprisingly, John thinks she's being insane. So Russell offers that he can Ocean 11 the crap out of this assignment. So they go for it. It's become clear that John is the only sane one in the group. So they bits the electronics of the building, and for a bit that they can disguise their entry, with Russell intercepting security's call about the blip. Russell and Kara enter Jedikiah's apartment and wander around a bit. Russell wonders why By the way, guys, there was no subplot in this episode. It was basically just this. This was the whole episode, and it was definitely very interesting. But once they reach the bedroom, Kara starts to scan. Jedikiah is dreaming about John and how he survived the procedure and seemed ready, willing and able to kill. Unfortunately for the not-so-dynamic duo, he wakes up, Kara gets away, but she leaves Russell behind, and Jedikiah slams on the no machine, and Russell's trapped. So they fight it out, and it's pretty vicious. Russell is able to fight free for a moment, but he turns off the no machine. Just as Ultra Agents floods the room, he teleports away, but not before Jedikiah grabs hold and winds up teleporting with him to the lair. So no one's really pleased about this. They knock Jedikiah out and tie him up. Steven stays out of sight while they question him. Kara tries to scan Jedikiah. Yeah, she tries to scan Jedikiah. And, she scans, Jedikiah. Where was I? I lost my place. Okay, but growing up with Jack clearly has taught him how to shield, so she can't get much, but what she does get is that he really cares about John, and that he seems to be trying to protect him. So, what is he protecting him for? I think there's something more to this. There's something he's protecting him for. So, maybe someone was after him and John, and that's why John doesn't really work for him anymore. We don't really know, but, we find out later in the episode. So, Jedikiah recognizes, Tim. Oh, Kara finally discusses his connection to, Morgan, and they're able to get a little more out of him, and he tells him that Thantos is Professor Aldous Crick. So Jedikiah recognizes Tim's voice enough to look at John, who confirms that he is already obsolete, and Tim seems offended, but probably not really, right? And by the way, Tim was played by Nicholas Young. That's who played him. Young. He also was supposed to be the original John. he played the original, he was supposed to be the original John in the show, so that's kind of interesting. So John, Steven, and Irene go visit Crick. Irene tags along because she's the only science-minded one of the bunch. Crick tells them that Jedikiah was his student and came to him with Jack, and the original purpose of Ultra was to protect Tommorow people and to usher them into the public eye, and Crick reveals that Jack was able to stop time. Now, this was really cool because I always thought that I knew there was some kind of connection between Jedikiah and Steven's father. I knew something had to have happened, but I think it was really cool that Ultra was originally supposed to be like, almost like S.H.I.E.L.D. to the Avengers, how they try to protect them. That's what it kind of reminds me of. It reminds me of like S.H.I.E.L.D. for the Avengers. So basically, Ultra was the Tommorow people's S.H.I.E.L.D. for the Avengers. That's what it kind of reminds me of. So, but now it's not like that anymore. So back at Ultra, they are financially searching for Jedikiah and have implanted the brain trust. Basically, at some point, the strongest telepaths have ports implanted in the back of their necks, and they can be plunged into the network. And when Steven asks about it, he's told that the founder came up with it, like Bloody Mary apparently just saying his name makes him appear. Because lo and behold, sorry, my computer just like completely froze. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry, my computer froze. I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Where were we? Because lo and behold, he's right behind him. The founder gets impatient with him. He plunges himself in, and he's very, very powerful. So Steven goes to the founder, and with the information on Morgan that he thinks she took Jedikiah, they get sent out to hunt her down. Steven manages to catch her, and she's devastated. She can't believe Jedikiah betrayed her. She loves him. Steven realizes he can't do this and tells Ultra that he missed her and that she is in the wind. So Russell brings Jedikiah along. She pretends to choke, and when Russell goes to save him, Jedikiah gets the jump on him, and Kara has to save Russell, and they reveal that she still has her powers. Not great for Steven, but she tells him that they discovered an antidote for the serum, but Kara tells John he's going to have to kill Jedikiah, and she's really all sorts of unlikable. So another flashback, and then we get to the really big ending. This really is the big ending of the show. It's really going to change a lot for the show, and I think it was probably the best part of the show, in my opinion. I think it definitely, I thought it was the best part. So, we see Jedikiah and John's about to make his first and last kill, because as we know, he only killed one person. We know that from Kill and Be Killed. We know that from that episode, but we didn't know who it was, and we find out who it was at the end of this episode. So, he's trying to, Jedikiah has been trying to hide from them, and he ends up killing Jack. Yes, John killed Steven's father. John killed Steven's father. And then they left Ultra. And Jedikiah and John talk about it, and then John shoots him, but he doesn't kill him. I actually thought he might have killed him, but he didn't kill him. He doesn't kill, I mean, I knew he wasn't going to die, but I thought, I didn't know what was going to happen there. But he doesn't kill him. But it's too late because Ultra's tracked them down, implemented a dead zone, and then John's captured. And the big thing is that it looks like Steven overheard this whole conversation about the whole dead Jack conversation. Which is huge for this show, because it really, really changes a lot, because what is Steven going to do when he finds out that he was the one that killed his father? Because he did, he killed his father. I mean, we don't know for sure, but we're going to assume that yes, he was the one who killed Steven's father. So it definitely is going to get very interesting, I think. I think it's going to be a very interesting show now, because we have this really big cliffhanger now, and I think it looks like next week he's going to find out that his father's dead, and it's also going to be him finding out that he also wants to die, because think about it, he's been trying to track down his father all season long, and now he finds out his father's dead. It's very sad, actually, if you think about it. It is sad. So we're definitely going to see what happens here, but that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed this episode. And also, there was no subplot this episode, and I think this episode was a lot more interesting than the last one. In fact, they didn't really talk about that Kara, John, Steven situation at all. It seemed like that didn't even come up. And luckily there was no Astrid either, because she annoys me, and I just want them to get rid of Astrid, because I don't find her necessary on the show. That's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. What do you think is going to happen now when he finds out that John was the one who killed, do you think John really did kill, it looked like he did, so I'm assuming he really did kill Stephen's father. Does Stephen know? I think he probably does know. We're going to have to see. And the other big thing is, why did John leave Jedikiah? What was the main reason for that? And when was it that, and I think this is also the reason why Ultra kind of stopped helping the Tommorow people. John killed one of the Tommorow people. But that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. And also, how did the Tommorow people get a hold of John? That's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.